Tell me when there's have you gone live too, Terry? We're going live.
Yeah.
From Deanne Fitzpatrick studio to you. And we're just excited that you're here with us. Know that we're just waiting for you to come on. And I got a couple of little projects I want to show you today. Can't show you this one. Not ready to show this one yet. You tell me when we're started, Angela.
Yep. We have Margaret McCall on.
Hi, Margaret. Welcome, Margaret.
Castle.
Hi, Eileen. Aileen Castles. Hi, Aileen. Welcome, everybody. So today I just want to look at what we were talking about last week with this little hoop thing again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it a little differently. It's hard to hook in this small hoop. And I'm just going to take this circle. I'm going to pull out here. And I'm going to trace the outside of the inside circle. I think that will work. Sorry, you guys. My hands are a little unsteady. And then I'm just going to hook randomly in here. I'm just going to like make a little ornament.
Oh.
Just not ready to share that one yet. Okay, so I'm going to just pick my green up. And I got my new scissors. I got myself a new pair of scissors because my scissors were getting dull, having cut too much burlap and too much linen. So I'm just going to start with a circle. And I'm just hooking on burlap because for ornaments, you'll see that burlap works. I know a lot of you are working on rebooting tradition, and I'm happy to say that we're getting, like, people are saying that they're really enjoying it and they're really happy with it. So that's great. Just going to go in here. Go inside that circle with the royal blue. And I don't know if I have enough to go all the way around. There we go. Now I'll bring in the navy. I find whenever you're doing, this is kind of just a hit and miss thing, right? Whenever you're doing hit and miss, I find like you need a shot of bright. I need a bit of red, maybe. Is there any red in my bin? There has to be, because I'm always using red. There we go. There's some red to orange. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to go around the outside of my circle. And you'll notice that I'm staying on kind of the inside of the line, because I don't know if this is going to work out. The other thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to ask Cathy Mcdonald to come on with us in a little bit. And we're going to talk about the stool and finishing a footstool. And she's going to talk to you about the way that she finished this stool and how she went about it. So glad you're here. I always say that, and I always mean it. Terry, tell them what we did the other night.
Oh, Deanne made cherry crisp.
Out of a bag of frozen cherries.
I know, they were delicious.
It was delicious.
I expected them to be like cherries that you have in cherry pie filling.
No, they tasted.
No, they were really.
They tasted like real cherries.
Fleshy and meaty.
Really, really good. Yeah. So she had texted me about something else, and I said, I just made cherry crisp. She said, I'll be over. No, I told her to come over.
Not that I wouldn't do
Not that you wouldn't do that. Not that it wouldn't be okay. It would be fine.
Is it like a dessert?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Like an apple crisp, only with cherries.
Cherries. It was really
delicious.
good. So apple crisp is simple. All you do for apple crisp is butter, brown sugar, cinnamon, and oats. And you can make a delicious dessert. It's like my go-to dessert, like when companies come and I don't have anything quite ready. Because you can bake it with whatever, if the chicken's in the oven, you can just pop it in there. What are your guys' go-to desserts? What do you make? Like, can you guys see the comments today?
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys make? Like, what's your go-to dessert if someone's coming over? Ooh, we'll get this turquoise out. Do you have a go-to that you say, oh, I gotta make that? I know you do. I know we're going to hear in a few minutes. The go-to desserts that you make quick. You just whip them up.
Sherry Peterson says brownies.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's always a
I
good
wouldn't
one.
if Deanne was coming though.
No.
Deanne doesn't like chocolate.
It's not that I don't like it. It's that I
okay.
just eat so much of it if it's around. So I just stop eating it.
Oh, I thought
yeah.
you didn't like it.
Well, I don't really like it that much anymore, but I used to love it.
Julie, no bake cheesecake.
Oh.
Debbie, apple pie.
Oh, yeah, great pie. No baked cheesecake with that can of cherries on top is still a great dessert.
Mmm.
Yeah, love it. I love my sweets, eh? When I get my sweets going, it's like...
Pear pie.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
Sour cream pound cake. Oh, that sounds good.
Oh, my. Oh! If you guys want to post these recipes on Wild with Wool, you're more than welcome. We'll just call it hooking and cooking. Just post a rug with a recipe. Hey, Cathy, we were talking about that, weren't we? So now I'm just going to go like crazy here. I'm not going to try and keep it straight, or I'm just going to keep clipping and adding different things, and I'm just going to fill in. So we're just playing, right? Bring that into the center. Some of that bright blue there.
Oh, they want your recipe.
Which one? The cherry crisp?
I think so.
Okay, here it is. I'm going to tell you. Half cup of butter, cup of oats, 3/4 cup of brown sugar. Just mix it with your hands. I always mix it with my hands. I always wash my hands first. Terry will be glad to know. And that's it. And you just mix that, and then you just bake the cherries. You just put the bag of fresh cherries, or you could use fresh cherries, a bag of frozen cherries, you could use fresh if you had it, in the oven, and put the crisp mixture on top of it, and bake for 45 minutes at about 350. That's my crisp. And you can do that with apples. You can do it, my sister.
Blueberries?
Yeah, blueberries. You can do it with plums. Anything. So, you know, this is not, I'm not making a work of art here. I'm just playing, right? I'm just showing you the idea, and we're going to see if it will work. Oh, let's get a bit of yellow in there, something bright. I'll lighten this thing up. All right. So you could hook anything here. I'm just going to fill this in.
How much butter?
I said about half a cup, I think. That's
Okay.
usually what I go for. Yeah, half a cup butter to a cup of oats. You'll get a nice crispy feeling with that. And 3/4 cup of brown sugar. You could use more sugar. You could use more butter, and it wouldn't hurt. Wouldn't hurt the taste anyway.
Partridge berry anything.
Partridge berry anything, yeah.
What's a partridge berry?
Partridge berry. What's a partridge berry? Well, you're going to have to ask. And now
I
that
don't
must be
know.
like Diane Burton or Rowena or somebody. Is it one of our Newfoundland contingent?
I don't know.
Don't know
She
who
just
said that.
she
Don't
went
know.
by too
Went
quick.
by too quick. So, partridge berry is a little berry that grows in Newfoundland on the bog, kind of low to the ground, kind of. And it's delicious. It's great with apples.
So somebody sent a request to be in the live video.
Oh, you can just ignore that. Maybe it was a mistake, probably. A lot of times people do that by mistake. We could bring them on, but we don't really think they want to come on. I'm just going to add another bit of yellow in here. So I just fill that out, and I'm going to put a dot of, what color should I put right in the center? I'm going to get something bright, and maybe the orange again. I'm not that fond of this orange. This was the orange that Lily used for our headless our headless scarecrow that we had to do for the town. Was planning a scarecrow thing. So, okay, we'll just put that in there. What?
Pretty.
Yeah, it brightens it up, doesn't it? It just brings it to the... Okay, whoops, I'm having a little trouble there. Okay, now, I'm not going to use my new scissors to cut around the burlap. I'm just using them to cut wool, okay? That's for sure. So, I'm going to put my scissors in with my wool. Then I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to cut, let's pop it off here. And it's not a perfect circle, it's not going to be a perfect ornament, but that's okay. It's going to be cute. I think it's going to be sweet. Cutting out my square. You could cut it out in a circle, really. That would probably make more sense, but I just want to see what I have. Then I'm going to take my little hoop, and I think Joe did put these on the website. They're not very expensive, but you can find them anywhere. Let's see if it's going to work. Are they $3.95? That's what they are. Oh, it's cute. Probably going to break it because they're fragile, right? They're very fragile, these hoops. I'm going to take that outer row out. Just a little too thick. So it's good to make your outer rows a little... Yeah, draw the circle all the way around. Yeah, draw the circle on the inside. That would work better, Terry. You're right. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to put that in. And then we're going to go out and we're going to see our stool.
So we just glue the ends in?
Yeah, you could just glue the ends in, or you could sew them. I think I'd be inclined to... Well, I would probably serge this, right? You could glue them, but I think the easiest thing would be to serge that. Oh, it's a sweet little thing. Yeah, and put a piece of felt on the back. But you know what? I'm just thinking now, what you could do, actually, is... I'm just looking at that, and I don't see why you couldn't just... cut that around here, like this. Cathy, would you mind just getting the white glue from underneath the cupboard? Yeah, just out right across from the washer. So this should have been pressed and clipped too. Probably would have been the nicest little thing. But I just think this would be sort of sweet on a gift. You could do it. Well, we're going to show you lots of ornaments because you know what we posted yesterday? We did the online winter course. Not the online winter course. I'm working on that. I'm working on 2 different ones, so who knows what we're going to be doing for that. But I did create a little mini course, and it's called Hooking at Home for the Holidays. And what I did was I decorated my own house and showed you how I use hooking to decorate the house. And it's quite sweet. There's a pillow top. There is a stocking, there's a pillow top, there's a stocking, there's a bunch of ornaments, there's a Father Christmas and a Father Christmas garland, and we give you the patterns for all of those.
Your mic.
And, oh, my mic's lost. So there's a stocking, a Father Christmas, a pillow top, a bunch of different ornaments, and a Father Christmas garland that's really beautiful, and a few other things. And the course is on sale now for $69.95. It's just a mini course, but there's quite a few videos in there, isn't there, Angela? And quite a few hours of hooking.
Oh, yeah, there's over 20.
Yeah, there's over 20 videos. Okay, so it's just a sweet little course. But really, I made this course so that I could share how you can use natural materials, and I used all whites in mine, but you could use reds or greens, and I'm going to show you some packages that you can use. So Cathy's just getting the glue, but she doesn't know where it is. I can tell. So I'm going to run out and get the glue. I'll be right back.
Are you going to do the course, Terry?
I'm thinking I'm going to do a few of those.
It's right here.
It's really great. I had a lot of fun putting it together.
That's okay.
I can't wait to see it.
So, we're just going to glue this. So we cut that around and we'll just glue that like this on the edge. Just like this. And you could use like a popsicle stick or something. And this will glue white. Now this is very rough, right? You can make these way more beautiful than I'm making them. And I just think that's kind of cute. It's just a sweet little, almost like, remember the God's eyes we used to make? Do you remember those? Yeah. It's just kind of fun. So I'm just playing with that. It's not like a masterpiece or anything. We're going to see the masterpiece next when Cathy comes on. But I want to talk a little bit more about our winter online course. So if you need supplies for your winter online course, we have the big packages that we showed you last week. We have the Holly Jolly and what's this one called, Angela? Do you know? Winter Hues. And what Joe did this week was he made smaller packages of each of these. So when you go on the website, if you're looking for Holly Jolly or Winter Hues, you can buy half packs too, I think. And then we have, of course, our mistletoe and holly bundle that Mary always makes. We have our cedar to make that little wreath that's included with the course. And then we always have this package. And what's this one called, Terry?
Snow shadows.
This is snow shadows. So we've got some great packages, but mostly, I'll tell you, if you just want to get in the season, you know, and in the feeling for the holidays, I think you'll really like this winter online. Why am I calling it that? Because I'm making a winter online course now as we speak, right? I'm working on 2 different versions of it. So, but I think you'll really like this hooking at home for the holidays. It's just a sweet, I have a very old house. It's a very natural house, and I just use the simplest of things and do the simplest of things and sort of try to bring the season to me in a gentle and fresh way with wool and all the things that we already have. So let's talk to Cathy now. So this is Cathy Mcdonald, and Cathy is the queen of our podcast. Do you know that? Do you know what, Cathy? You know.
My God.
I know. She is the most listened to podcast that we've ever had.
That's because I've listened to it 400 times.
That's what she told me yesterday.
Kathy, you're gonna have to speak up.
Okay.
So you've listened to it 400 times?
Yeah.
That's
No.
true?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, so it's been listened to over 1,900 times, I think I said yesterday.
Wow.
So people are interested, and it was about Cathy coming to work here and Cathy thinking about her future.
Yeah.
And so show us what you did here, Cathy.
So what was an amazing part of this journey is everything that I learned by Deanne just asking me, can you just help me paint this stool? Right? So it just started out innocently enough, but
The stool that was found on the street.
yeah, exactly. So from there, I've learned a lot. I've Googled a lot, so I'm going to show you what I've learned, and
Okay.
I'm actually going to show you what it looks like. So I apologize ahead of time for any seamstresses out there. I'm not a seamstress by any stretch of the imagination, but we all do our best,
Yeah.
and we're here just to help you learn how to do stools if you have some at home. So I'm going to show you what you could have done ahead of time.
Yeah, it would have made great sense.
Yeah. So, see all those marks there? Like, wouldn't it have been great to kind of have that ahead of time, right?
Yes, it would have been.
But that's not how we roll, which
No.
is fine. So I used an off color so that you could see it, and I used an off color on my stitching so you could see where I stitched. So basically, you would measure the top, add about an inch, or whatever you think that top is going to be. So you really pick the how much height you're going to have on your stool. There's a couple different kinds of stools. Like the stool that we have has springs in it, really. You've seen the bottom of it, right? And it's old. Like when I ripped it apart, this burlap, I was almost going to take it off, and then it was like, oh my gosh, I think it's holding those springs there. I better not do that. I've gone too far, right?
Yeah.
So and then there's stools that just have a plank on it that you would cover the plank itself. And then hook your piece and go over top of that. So really, it's just like you're using it as a backing itself, like if you have a plank.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this one, because it had an edge already, we wanted to attach it to the edge. What we didn't know was that it's hardwood, and so hardwood. When I went to nail it yesterday, because I wanted to make sure I could nail it, they bend. So the little carpet tacks, things that you think you're going to work. So again, things I learned that don't work, do not work. So I had to get some upholstery, hardwood, for finishing furniture nails.
Okay.
So the furniture nails are like this, and they'll actually say it on the label, furniture nails. So you can pick what, they're quite really nice fancy ones in the hardware store that had brass. There was like flowerettes, really nice ones, but I thought the nice black would be nice against what we've done with the stool, which we'll show you in a sec. So if you Google Eaton Edge, the Doris Eaton Edge, this is basically what I've done, but in reverse. So when you look at our backing, like our finishing twine, it's got a finished edge. So you could have sewn that on here, and you're basically attaching that right to the side of your stool. But because this is not wide enough, we used wool, and we wanted it to be wool.
Yeah, we
for
did.
our sides. And so our sides are wool. So you can see here that there's still this sticking out as well. So you'd have to tuck that in. So it was just going to be way too much underneath there. So we used wool. So I'm going to show you the finished piece because I know that we don't have tons
I
of
just
time.
want to say that if we had have done this first, we could actually just hook that like this.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yes.
we could have just hooked this like this. So
Yes.
hooked it right to the edge, and then
Exactly.
what you did was create a hat, kind
I
of.
did.
She made a hat for the stool.
Exactly.
I'll pass it back to you.
Yeah, perfect. So again, my apologies to seamstresses everywhere, but I think you'll see that when I actually am able to tack that on with those great finishing nails, it's going to be nice and tight, right? And so you don't want tons of bulk. So what I did is underneath there is the same amount of backing that this needed in order for me to pull it tight and to be covering all the wood to the stool edge.
Smart.
Debbie's asking, where did you measure from?
So I measured around the exterior here, like for all the way around. So it's 14 3/4 inches on each side. And then you have to add that 1 inch or 2 inches. And really it's a bit of playing around. So when you have your linen, right, and you've got that and you're kind of thinking, where am I going to end up? What you're going to do is you're going to see exactly where that's going to end up. You see that there? And so that way when you cover it and you bring that to the other side, it's going to be exactly where you need it to be to cover your whole stool, and you're not going to be fighting with it. If you do end up with it being too tall and you've got like just any kind of filler in there, you can take filler out.
Or you could
Or
add
you can
filler.
add more. So if you don't have quite, if you have too much or not enough, you can add or take out, depending on what you're using for your cushion.
Oh,
Because
sorry.
You're going to be putting a cushion in there.
Yeah, Debbie was talking about the Sharpie lines, how you measure.
Oh, so for the Sharpie lines, the reason I did that is that I can't see through the material. And so because I couldn't see through the material, I wanted to line it up properly. And so when I lined it up, I just wanted to put that line on there. And then I wanted to make sure that this line was even. And so again, I marked it on there. So there's actually a Sharpie line on there as well. Right?
So can we start hammering the nails on this?
Yeah. Yeah, let's
Like,
do it.
so what do you want me to do?
I think we decided there's 30 nails, so there's going to be 7 on each.
So let's,
Side.
I think it's a good idea to probably put one in the middle on each side. What do you think?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so too.
We may have to turn it like this.
Yeah, I think so. Just to make it.
Okay, and we just want to make sure that the black edge is on the black edge, and I'm just going to move my fingers a little bit.
Yeah, if my husband's watching, he'll be like, "Oh my God, what is she doing? She never does this at home."
Yes, and
Yeah.
she's
There we
she's
go.
not feeling really confident at it.
Well, it's my well, considering that like the other nails didn't like
We just-
bent.
We just don't want
Right.
Brian to get any ideas about what you could be doing. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
oh, there you go.
Yeah. And because it's going through linen,
And two
and
layers of
two
wool.
layers of wool.
It's going to be nice and sturdy.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
How did you
Yeah,
do the
she says.
corners, Kathy?
So the corners are so you basically mitering is a term used to have it so that you're not having a really thick piece
In the corners.
In the corner.
So you want to show them?
Yeah. So I left. So you can see here that it's like cut sideways a bit, so that when you turn it under and it's in behind, you just turn it so that it's not much bulk. So there's only 3 layers of fabric instead of, if you weren't going to do that, then, you'd be folding it, way too many folds.
Mm-hmm.
So you want
It's
to
gonna be bulky on the corner.
Not bulky on the. So you just Google miter edges.
So, Mr. Brian, careful of your manicured nails.
That's true.
Mr. Brian is on the live with us. Isn't
Yes.
he?
I love
That's
that
Cathy's
Deanne
husband.
It's
Yeah, like it's a hammer, right? It's like.
Yeah.
So we'll just finish this up. What time is it? Do we have much time left, you guys? No.
We have 2 minutes.
2 minutes, okay. So Kathy's just going to finish that up and go all the way around, and you can see the nails. Probably the next thing we should do is the corners, eh, Kathy?
Yeah.
Makes sense?
So I was thinking corner.
Okay.
And then like at least 1 or 2 more in between.
In between. And we can always get another pack of nails if we need to. I really appreciate you doing this. It was a big job.
It was a lot of fun though. Like
Yeah.
I highly encourage you to look up the Doris Eaton Edge.
Doris
Especially
Eaton was
for
the
this.
diva of Nova Scotia rug hooking.
Yeah, amazing.
Absolutely beautiful, amazing woman who led us all down a good road of rug hooking for many
absolutely.
years.
Yeah.
Susan
Yeah.
Sutherland uploaded the link for that.
For the doors. God
Yeah.
loves Susan. Thank
She's
you.
on it.
She's on it. She's on it. Yeah.
Great.
Susan lived in Amherst. She'd be like
Yeah.
working
she'll
with
be
us
here.
on Saturdays.
She'll be here.
Thanks so much for
you.
helping me. And
Giving me the,
thanks,
kudos
Terry, for
to-
taping today. And thanks, Angela. Appreciate you guys. And thank you for watching and for being with us, for sharing your knowledge about rug hooking, and for growing with us, because it's a really beautiful thing.
Yeah.
God love you
A lot
all.
of fun.
Thank you. See ya.
Great.
That
looks good.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Soft.
It is a
like,
little hat.
It's really cushy.
Yeah.
It's a beanie.
Susan Sutherland, I can move.
Oh.